All right, it's that time for what? Now,
On
what's
what happening?
happening? All right. All right, all right, all right, okay, all right. Leon, now what's happening?
Oh man, building relationships after COVID, meeting new people. You got your mask on. Hey, if you meet them one time and you see them again and they have the mask on, how do you know they are who they say they are? It's hard, man. It's hard building these relationships where you have to stay away from people.
Mm-hmm.
We're a hugging type people. I remember you meet new friends, you give them a hug, you out date night, you shake hands, you give them the shoulder lean in. You know how we do. Well, we can't do that. That's how we
Wow.
express ourselves. That's how it is. We meet at the wine bar, we have some drinks, some conversation, we build those relationships. Well, we can't do that, but how do we continue on? How do we get back to what we consider to be normal?
Well, I don't
In
know.
this, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, so here's the. You know what? Let's hit it on the head. You got kids in school. I got kids in school. Our kids want to have play dates, spend the night, see a
Yes,
friend. How do you do that in the age of COVID? All right. Now, most people are telling you, oh, it's over. We both know it's not over. So, how do we get our children so they can still build these relationships? We can build relationships. How do we do that? Do we meet them in the park? Do we
right.
say, okay, you go on that swing set, I'm gonna sit over here. You got
Right.
your mask, I got my mask. How does that work?
Well, we have a part of our country that wants to act as if it is over and they've went back to normal. And I've had many conversations with people who think like that, who have lost loved ones and who have been sick themselves, and so they're not happy. But I'm on the other side of things. I've did all that I can do. I am vaccinated. A couple of my kids I've vaccinated because they're old enough. But like you said, they want to have play dates. They want to get together with their friends and go places.
Hmm.
And it's hard. And not only them, we want some adult interactions. We want to have that date night and hang out with people our age and have those conversations with adults. So
Okay,
I've done a
okay,
lot of
so
thinking about it.
okay, so
And,
so
and,
so, he, so, so
but
so here you go. So here you go. Do you ask for that vaccination card or not? Do you ask, are you vaccinated? I need to know. Do
I
you
come
need to
right out.
know?
I come right out. I come right out. And that's not to say that if you say no, then we can't be friends. No, 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 no. I ask that so I can take care of myself. You can take care of yourself. If you're not vaccinated, then I require that as we build our relationship, I'm going to need you to put on a mask.
Mm.
I'm going to need you to put on a mask. And if you ask me why, I'm going to say, well, you're not vaccinated. You could have the virus. You could be one of those people who have the virus and not even get sick, but you can pass it on to me. So I'm going to do that. And if a person does that, that's the type of person I want to be around. A person who think about others, who wants to be friends and understand first you have to be friendly. So that's going to draw me into that relationship
All right.
and
Okay.
want me to get to know that person.
Okay. Okay. So let's get back to these kids though.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the kids. Like I said, you got girls, you got a boy. I mean, again, they want to hang out with their friends.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, what?
we actually going through that right now. So, my wife and I was out riding one day, and we met a new person in our neighborhood who happened to
Mhm.
have a son the same age as my son. So we did set up a play date. Now, I asked right off the top, "Have you been vaccinated?" And this particular person had been. So we're on the same level so far as that concerned. And we had a conversation about COVID, and that helped me to understand where she was coming from. And she
Okay.
understood
Okay.
where we were coming from. So now we are going to have a play date. But here's the thing.
Mhm.
Even with the play date, it's not like it was before. We're not fist bumping and we're not doing all that. We're gonna have that play date, but we still have to have that 6 feet of distance. We still have to work within the guidelines so we both can be safe. And we can have
Okay.
that conversation.
Okay.
And the
Now.
kids can play because the kids play in school. Now,
Okay.
do they have their mask on while they play?
That's
And
the question.
well,
That's
unfortunately,
the question.
the answer has to be yes.
That's the question. Now it's interesting because where my son goes to school, um, they don't have a mask mandate, but I
Right,
send him with a mask every day.
right.
So there's a little young boy. He said, "Hey, I want to do a play date." So the question is, okay, we reached out to the mother and had a conversation. Where do you have the play date? Do you have them come
Well,
to your house? Do you meet them in an area where it's open, let them play? If they do come to your house, do you have them like outside in the backyard? Okay, yeah, you can come in, use the restroom, but that's it. You need to stay outside. I mean, and I know this sounds really bad, but this is the truth. I mean, someone can walk in your house and give you COVID, just like that.
well, well, and that is true. But I mean, we've had workers come to our house and come on the inside, and they have on masks. So we require them to put on masks to come in our house. We don't necessarily have on masks at that point, but we require them to do that. So
Okay,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Where do you go?
where do
Well,
you go?
my first suggestion is always someplace out. When it's nice outside, especially with young kids, they want to run and jump and play. So they're going to have the maximum amount of fun if they're outside running and jumping. If the weather doesn't permit that, then there's plenty of places that you can go. The fly zone, they have the trampoline zone, they have all these different play areas, game rooms, go karts, all these different types of things that you can go to outside. And with that, you can sanitize their hands. They're going to run and jump and play and do all those type of things. They will need their mask on, of course, but they can still have a good time. And as parents, we can still have those conversations and get to know one another at the same time. But we will have our mask on.
Okay, okay. So so let's talk about reintegrate. Getting back out there, socializing, building up those networks again. Um, recently, I just met someone. We were talking about a book deal and stuff like that, and I met them face to face. Okay, we met at a Starbucks. They had their mask on. I had my mask on. During the
Right.
conversation, the mask was on. The only
Exactly.
time that mask moved is when you tipped it up to get the coffee and put that mask back down. So,
Correct.
so,
Correct.
um, but again, but you have to live. You have to
Yes.
get back out there. So building those relationships, being able to get back out. Yeah, you can't shake hands. You got to fist bump, elbow bump. Whatever you got to do. Um, do you find that challenging? Because do people want to meet? Some people
I
don't
do.
want to meet no more. Some people get so used to doing video conferencing and FaceTime. This whole concept of actually meeting somebody face to face is foreign.
Yeah. I agree, and I must say that I was one of those, and but I
No.
realized that you can't live like that. You can't have a life just barricaded in your home. You having all your groceries delivered, your fast food delivered, you working from home. You can't. That's not a life. We did that for a year and a half through that whole COVID at the beginning. We did that homeschooling. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So we need to get back to what we know, and we can be safe about it. But let me just say this: as a person who was vaccinated, and then later on caught COVID
Oh boy.
after being vaccinated,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
the tendency there was, hey, because I still to this day I don't know how I got COVID because my wife and I both we're safe. We wear the mask. We do all of that. Now after that, uh, I could have easily said, you know what? I'm not going out. I'm not going anybody. I don't want to see nobody. But no, because we can't let this beat us. This is not who we are. And unfortunately, this situation is changing people. And it's
Yes.
not for the better, it's for the worse. And we don't want our kids to be like that. They were already, and you and I, we've had these conversations before. They were already on the borderline
Yes.
of getting to a point where they didn't even talk to each other. They kept their face in some type of game pad, computer, something like that. And they were not learning the people skills necessary to live in this world. And so COVID was taking them to a whole nother level. And we need to turn that back. We still have to get out there and communicate. We still have to talk. So what if there's a mask on? So what if you have a mask? You can still hear the person. You can still uh, have that eye contact. You can still look at the body language when people communicating. So let's get back into it. But we need to know that this is going to be around a long time. Until there's a cure, you can imagine it's going to be just like it is now.
Wow. Wow. So I tell you, man, we again we got to figure out, what is the new norm.
Yeah, yeah,
It really boils down to what is the new norm. How do we walk in that new norm safely? you know, and again, it's just trying to be safe and trying to get back to being. I call it to me. I think it's a detriment when you can't see people, interact with people from a face to face perspective.
right, right,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got the camera and stuff. Oh, yeah, turn your camera on when you do. But there's nothing like that human interaction. I think that we all need as human beings to be able to grow and to be able to do that as well. But we do have to tackle this vaccination thing
Oh,
to get
I'm ready.
vaccinated or not. Now, we know about 60% of the country is vaccinated. You still got 40% holding out. All right. All right. But let's really, really, look at that. Um, I think, again, it's not to pressure people or anything like that. Um, it's not for me to be safe, it's for us to be safe.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem. But are you getting the booster? Are you going to get the booster?
I am. I am when I'm able. So since I had COVID, I have to wait 3 months before I can get the booster.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
but but I am going to get the booster. My wife is going to get the booster as well. There's no question. Here's the thing about uh, vaccinated or not vaccinated. Now, I was on the fence when this whole thing came out. I'm not into conspiracy theories, but obviously this country has a checkered history so far as um, medicine of any kind, procedures, uh, and the minority community, most specifically the African American community. So there's a question there in my mind about what's in it and all that. I don't believe what a lot of people are saying. There's tracking devices. Listen, everybody's carrying the phone. You're already being tracked. So they don't have to put that in a shot. People believe all types of stuff. What I'm saying is number one, if everyone would have gotten a shot at the very beginning when it was available, then we wouldn't even have this conversation. It would be gone
True.
because everyone would
True.
have been
That's
covered,
true.
and it would have had an opportunity to turn into what it is today. It wouldn't have had an opportunity to transform itself to
Mhm.
something else. So that's one thing. But I have talked to many people who will not get the vaccine,
Okay.
and they make some compelling arguments,
Mhm. Mhm.
and and I can't argue with it. I can't argue with it. I wish they would, but in America, I understand why they chose not to, and they have a right to do so. Uh, but with that being said, I have a right to protect myself and my family, and for me, I go with the CDC guidelines. This is what they have. Is it the best? Are they the most trustworthy? No. But at this point, this is all we have. Eh, let me just say this also.
Mhm.
When people
Go
have the flu and they cough, in your mind, you say, well, somebody coughed by you, you said, dog, cover your mouth. Even if you don't say it out loud, you be like, dog, why are you coughing on me like this? You sick? Why are you coughing? It's the same thing now. It's the same thing now. It's just having a mask is even more convenient. That when you
Yeah.
cough or even breathing or talking, those things don't go to other people to make other people sick. So it's just like the flu or any other cold. You don't want to spread germs. You
So
don't want to
so
spread germs.
so do you think, and yes, I know you do we make this political for no reason? I mean, we get flu shots all the time.
Right.
So what's the difference? You know what I mean? We took something that, hey, we know there's something out there. And like you're right. I remember going to work. You had that one person who had the flu, coughed
Mhm.
all over bed.
You be like, why you didn't stay home? You didn't have to come in.
Exactly. Exactly. And
You done made the whole office sick. What's up with that?
or at least come in with a mask if you're gonna cough all over the place.
Yeah,
All
exactly,
right.
exactly.
But now taking this to a more, again, we made it political, the right, the left, oh, mask, not to mask, my freedom of speech, rights, everything else. But at the same time, though, we still got to respect everyone, because everyone has their opinion.
Yes.
We
Yes.
gotta at least respect that, honor that, um, and we just gotta do what we can do to stay safe, to keep our family safe,
That's it.
family
You have to do
and friends.
what you feel is best. I had a conversation. Actually, ever since I've been back to work, since I had COVID, I've had multiple conversations with different people where a family member has had COVID, or different people in their families, and they're talking to me about it, and talking about the severity of it and how they reacted to it, and I always start off. I don't recommend getting COVID. Some people feel like they can get it. They want to get COVID so they can have those antibodies in them, and so they could just go on with their normal lives. A lot of people believe that they can catch COVID, build the antibodies, and then they're
Mhm.
done, and so they can live their lives like normal.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it
I'm
doesn't.
here to
It
tell you
definitely
that's not it. It
it doesn't work that way. Okay.
doesn't work like that. There are long term effects that a lot of people don't know about. It continues way on past when you were actually down and out and really sick. So you don't want that. But um, there's free will here. There's free will, and you have to make those choices. And to your point about being political, it's so unfortunate that
Yeah.
some people, some people use every opportunity uh, to use things, and unfortunately, when they do that and they use things for their own gain, because really that's what it is. It's political gain, it's monetary gain, and it costs people lives. It costs people lives because people believe the rhetoric that is being spewed out by some of the people that hold the highest offices in the land. And it costs them and their loved ones their lives. And not only that, their livelihood. Uh, some people are going bankrupt with these medical bills. So many different things are going on. But with all that being said, we have to live. We have to live, and we have to go out, and our children has to see us doing the right thing and continue living our lives. This is a teachable moment. It's a teachable moment for
It's a
our
real
children.
teachable moment. It's a real
It's a
teachable
real
moment.
how if they see you handling this very difficult situation, it gives them the strength to say, well, if dad did it, or if mom does it, and it's really rough, it's really hard, then I can do it. I
Yeah.
can do it as well.
Wow. Well, hey guys. Hey, I can't. He summed it up.
Mm.
He summed it up. So, guys, hey, we thank you guys for checking us out, watching. We will have some more compelling shows. Now
Oh,
we gonna might hit some tough spots.
yeah.
Okay, don't get sensitive on us. But we
Yeah.
will have some more compelling shows, seeing what's going on. And oh yeah, we have to say, our sincere condolences to the Powell family,
Oh, definitely.
General
Oh, my.
Powell and his believe it or not, his children are like amazing.
Yeah.
His children, like I said, we feel for the family, but he was a role model to a lot of us. So,
Yeah.
with that said, again, thanks for watching. What now?
Now what's
What's
happening?
happening?